The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everybody. This is so exciting. I love to see everybody here every month, and it's always unique. It's always different. This is the Psychic Hour, and I want to welcome everyone to my Psychic Hour, this free monthly extravaganza fun readings that I do for you monthly. And you folks ask the most wonderful, insightful questions, and my guides come through and seem to have this uncanny ability to give information, advice, insight to the person who's asking, and along the way manage to hit basic questions that everybody who's on the call has. So I'm glad everybody's here, because the best way to make sure that the questions you have in your mind get answered, either directly by raising your hand and I contact and talk with you, or indirectly by just thinking it loud enough that my guides answer it automatically. So listen to the information that I'm giving to each caller as they get their question answered, because it just might be your question getting answered too. So without any further introduction, I'm going to just jump in with a couple of announcements that I want to make as we get started for this next month. First of all, please make a note on your calendar that the next Psychic Hour is July 9th. And again, that will be July 9th, 9 p.m., always 9 p.m., and always free. Sign up early because these seminars do tend to fill up. And it is so exciting to see everybody on here because, like I said, they fill up. So I know many of you came in early, and that's just the thing to do. I want to also remind you, those of you who want to develop your own psychic skills and perhaps learn to do what I do, to help your family, to help your friends, and maybe even to one day become a professional psychic, I am going to be doing my online Anastasi System of Psychic Development program, and it starts July 5th. Now, if you think you are psychic, if you think you'd like to be psychic, if you'd like to find out if you're psychic, if you'd like to explore the psychic field, you really don't want to miss this. No matter where you are in the world, you can study with me now online. It's a combination home study, in-person study, and there's lots and lots of practice, interaction with fellow students. I'm sending out a bunch of letters on this coming up, and you'll see my editorial if you look at it that I gave you some insight onto it. If you think this is something that you have an interest in, jump on board and do it quickly, because that is limited seating. It's only open to a limited number of people. Once I reach my limit, I close it off, and then there's a waiting list. So sign up early for that if you're interested. I also want to tell you a little bit about my June special, my June reading special. This is one that my guides are doing to help all of you out there who, like me, have recognized that you have some self-sabotaging patterns. And those patterns might have to do with how you handle money, how you handle relationship, how you deal with authority. My guides and I are going to help you. If you call in for that reading, we're going to help you to figure out, to be able to pinpoint what your self-sabotaging patterns are, what part of your life and what people in your life they might be affecting, and more importantly, how you can reroute that energy and turn those patterns into some of the most positive traits that you have that will actually benefit you instead of being self-sabotaging. So if that interests you, then give me a call, or actually give Lisa a call, or schedule it on my website. There's a spot where you can just schedule that reading in, and I'll be really excited to be talking with you personally to be able to give you help there. Now, one last thing, just keep your ear posted that if you are already a practicing psychic and you want to hone your skills further and you want to be able to work better with your customers, your clients, and you've got some stumbling blocks, look later this summer. I'm going to be having a one evening mastermind for psychics to develop their skills. So look look at my summer webinars, and it's not on my site right now, but it will be going up there as we get into July. So check that date out. It'll either be July or August. It's going to be during the summer. And don't forget, if you have signed up for the cruise and you've already paid your $50 deposit, you have until August 1st to get the rest of the money in for the cruise. And of course, everybody can put their enrollment in for the Psychic cruise, which is going to be right after Thanksgiving this year. Anytime, Norwegian's going to be glad to accept your money, and we will be glad to have you join us. So if you want to participate in our Psychic cruise, please don't miss that. But certainly, if you've already paid your $50 deposit, start gearing up to get the rest of that money in, because it's due in August. Okay, I'm done with my announcements. Thank you, folks, for being patient. And Lisa, who is my first victim this evening?
Well, your first victim is going to be Livia. If I can unmute her. And I can't. Livia, can you unmute yourself?
As you're getting Livia unmuted, let me just give you some basic protocol for when you get online with me. First off, I want to know your name. I want to know where you're calling from, because we're all interested in that. I'd like to know what your sun sign is so that I can locate you here on our Horary astrology chart for the evening and give you some information about that. I want to know what you're most grateful for in your life right now, because that's something which really motivates us in so many ways to give recognition to those things in our life that we're grateful for. And then I'd like your question. Livia, are you online? Because I can't hear you.
She is not.
Oh.
So I will move on to the next person.
Okay, and perhaps we can go back and see if she can't unmute herself a little bit later.
All right. Right now we're going to go to Kelly B. Kelly, you're unmuted.
Hi, Sandy. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for the call. I'm calling from Virginia, and tonight I am thankful for my puppy dog and my kids.
Awesome. And what's your sun sign? You said Libra?
I'm a Libra, yep.
Okay. I'm having a little bit of trouble finding you. Yeah, I'm going to ask you, when I'm talking, would you please mute? Using feedback. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes our microphones, I'm not a computer person, so I do not really understand why it does this, but sometimes certain computers don't seem to like each other on the web, so when we get each other when our mics are both open, they give that feedback. So if I could have found you, I could have muted you and unmuted you, but I'm going to have to ask you to do it because there are just too many people online for me to be able to take the time to figure out where you are here. That's why Lisa's so important. She's got the most important job here this evening. Okay, and incidentally, about Lisa, folks, if you have a question, you can also type it into the chat room, and Lisa will give those to me as well. She'll pick from them too. So let's just check out what's going on for you, Miss Libra. Right up here, I don't know, my guides are saying you really don't know anything about astrology, although you like it. Okay, and what I see up here is Libra. So all you Libras, pay attention to this. On the house of career in this chart, this is the 10th house. This is what you're aspiring to achieve and accomplish in your life, and also in your career. Notice I say career, not just work. And in that house, there's Jupiter and the moon, both in Libra, and the Jupiter is retrograde. So this is really cool, because what this says is that there are going to be some opportunities coming back to you relative to your career aspirations, your work. Maybe there's some travel opportunities or opportunities to take a job which would expand what you're doing within your job and what you're doing in terms of your own spiritual evolution as well. And whatever it is, it seems like it's either coming to you through a woman, because we have a moon connecting in here too, Or perhaps it's that since you are a woman yourself, that it's your own motivation that's developing this. Meanwhile, there's tremendous emotion and intensity attached to it. Now, opposite that, always look at the opposition here. We've got Uranus and Venus. So whatever it is something you really, really want. Again, we have the focus on either a woman or perhaps your significant other being instrumental in this shift. And it's sudden. It's going to happen like, wow. So whatever it is you're waiting for or trying to get off the ground, it's been like slow, 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 and then pow, all at once it happens. It's really kind of cool. You also have a grand cross going on. I'm pointing to this here. Mars in Cancer squares that opposition. Pluto in Capricorn squares that opposition. And so it's been moving, you've been moving like quicksand. It's been moving, things have been moving slowly for you. So it's really probably exciting for you to know that when it shifts, it's going to happen fast. Now, how's it going to shift? Imminently, in the next couple of days, Jupiter's going direct. The moon is going to be out of Libra in 2.5 days. As soon as Jupiter goes direct, it's going to start moving very quickly out of this square or this grand cross. And when it does, it's going to open the space for the energy to just explode. So you Libras are getting ready to have a whole lot of activity coming into your life. And I'm going to predict that it's probably going to be by the time Jupiter covers all that ground, you're going to see the horizon within this week. It's coming soon, but it really won't be out there where you can take advantage of it until maybe the end of July or August. Okay, so that should give you a timetable. Now, what's your specific question?
Well, that's very interesting because my career has been very much on my mind lately. And I feel like I'm in this place where there needs to be the next step or something completely different or whatever, but I haven't really pinpointed it.
It's coming.
Yeah, I just hope, I'm always like, well, you need to hit me in the head with it because I might miss it.
Well, and that's not uncommon for you Libras either, because you're usually so busy thinking about other people that when it connects to you, you tend to miss it. So that was your question, and I answered it, huh?
Yes and no. That's been me and my question, but me being Libra and having my kids have been going through individually their own struggles. And I guess, so my question is there anything that I should be doing that I'm not doing or something that I'm doing wrong? Any advice with respect to their issues?
Well, what are the ages of your kids? Because my guides are saying they're spread out. Like you've got a few of them. They start young and get to their teens. What are their ages?
Yeah, it's 21 and 25.
The reason I'm laughing, I just have to laugh, because my guides are pinpointing whatever is going on with them now actually began and there's a spread between them, okay? But it began when the older one was in the teens, okay? So you know where the roots of this are, and it really has a whole lot to do with them. Frankly, I'm going to be real direct. You've done everything for them, and you can't anymore. They have to learn to be on their own. So the best pointer that we can give to you is to step back, be there to be the sounding board, pass no judgments, give advice when it's asked, and boy, is that going to be hard for you, isn't it? Because it started when they were back in their teens, when they needed to be independent, and they didn't get there. And so now they're doing this independence at a later date, and they do have struggles, and they do expect you to fix things that you can't fix. They have to do this themselves.
Okay, that's what I am trying to do, but I know that's a struggle for me. So, and they expect me to jump in. So,
well, they will one day thank you, because the longer it waits, for them to develop self-responsibility, the bigger the fall gets. You see? If they had developed this when they first should have, which was when the older one was just into the teens, the other one was at the tail end of them, I guess the older one would have been 16, 17. If they had taken responsibility for whatever was going on back then, if you hadn't jumped in to try to be, my guides are saying, both parents to them, okay, to try and be there for every single thing they did, probably because of your own concerns that you weren't doing a good enough job. But if that didn't happen, they would have taken on the ability to be self-responsible back then, and this period they're going through now would not happen. But if you step in and keep fixing it, you're going to just delay the inevitable, and sooner or later, it's going to be too big for you, and they will hit the ground, and they will be hurt. So better that they should, go through some struggle now, but get their act together. And they will, I promise you, they'll thank you at a later date. They will thank you. Be there, give them advice, but don't do it for them. Okay?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Excellent advice. Thank you so much.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you.
And Lisa, who's next?
All right, we're going to go back to Livia because she thinks she can now unmute herself.
Awesome.
Livia, you unmute?
Hello, Livia. Oh, dear. It does not seem to be working. She's going to have to keep working on it, Lisa.
Alrighty, then we're going to go down to Kim H. Kim, you are unmuted.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Well, I'm great. Lisa, how are you?
I'm awesome.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for letting me come aboard. My name is Kim H. There, you got it. I'm a Pisces, and I flounder back and forth from Key Largo, Florida to Georgia.
Hey, that doesn't sound too bad to me.
No.
And what is your thing that you're most grateful for in your life right now?
It's I'm grateful for the gift of time. I've been blessed with extra time.
Oh, awesome. I'm jealous. I think almost everybody on our call is jealous. That's just really wonderful. It's great that you're recognizing it and you're grateful for it. Now, what I'm going to do is give you a little rundown on what's happening astrologically at this point, and then we'll take your question, okay? Here you are just on the cusp of the third house in this chart. And my guides are saying you know a little bit more about astrology than my last caller in did. So I don't know if that means you are an astrologer or if that you've just been following it and have studied it a little bit. So this is going to make a lot of sense to you. In the third house, you've got Neptune and Chiron, which is incredibly creative. I would love to see you and, frankly, every other Pisces on the call. I'd love to see you doing something in the creative field or with your creativity that involved communication, perhaps speaking, teaching, writing, music, because there's so much, that creativity right now is not only a way for you to express, it's also a way for you to heal both yourself and other people, okay? So this is key right now in your life, very important. This is also part of a T-square. You've got a square heading over here from these planets that I'm circling, that Neptune, Chiron, and Saturn in your first house. So something feels like it's holding you back from taking that step, that plunge into what you really might want to do. And it's also making a square to the sun over here in Gemini. And that's important because that sun in there, it moves fast. It's going to be gone in less than a month. But it's really showing you what is going on right now. So you're seeing your life more clearly than I can tell you. I'm telling you that. The clarity is there. And it's going to, because you have that clarity, it's giving you the ability to really separate and see, well, this is the direction that I want to go. This is what I want to be doing. And it's interesting, you said that right now in your life you're doing all this traveling because this T-square is focusing the energy into the ninth house, which in astrology is the house of travel. So you should be doing all that traveling back and forth and back and forth. And you should be writing and teaching or singing or doing something where you're creatively working with your hands, The creative button is what needs to get pushed in order to open everything in your life and have that healing happen for you, have your healing other people. And that's not just in a way of hands-on, it's also emotional healing them, talking, healing them, and even healing relationships either for them or between you and them. Now, I hope every other Pisces on this call has been listening to this, because this is affecting all of you in that same way, okay? Now, what is your specific question, and, what do you think of that?
It hits home. That's good. But I guess I'm calling about my future love life, or is it a past love? I got this time now, and I want to spend it with someone special.
Well, it's going to, I'm sorry, I'm being tongue-tied. This is a really personal question. And what wants to come out, this was Sandy saying, oh, I can't say that. And my guides are saying it to me. I said, I can't say that. So that's why you caught me stumbling. What they're telling me is that there's going to be somebody available who's really dynamite. You could have a great time with, but you would have, that relationship, for whatever reason, would have to be somewhat clandestine. It would have to be kept beneath visibility, and you may not really want to go in that direction. And then my guide said to me, I held that back because I'm like, this is a public place, Sandy, And, my guides then say, well, just tell her to have fun right now, and the really good ones in the future. Okay. So there's the message. And you really do, I don't like to paraphrase my guides, but you seem to have a fabulous ability to communicate. And you are looking for that soulmate. And you have been on both an intellectual journey and a spiritual journey of your own. I see loss behind you, so I don't know if that was somebody that you broke up with or somebody who passed, but it has a sense of intense loss. And you need to get past that loss before that person that you can relate to on the level you want to relate to, which is that total being, intellectual connection, emotional connection, physical connection, friendship, love. And you're yourself not there yet, because although you want this, you haven't entirely healed yourself yet, okay? And because you have still got that wound, you will tend to attract other people who are also not completely whole yet. They're telling me, I'm seeing a 4, that's 5, I'm seeing a 4, and they're telling me it's either going to be next April, 4 months from now. It's not that far in the future. But right now what's available is, love, support, fun, but not that deep commitment that you're really looking for. That's still a little bit in the future. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Good luck to you. And I hope I did not embarrass you. Okay.
No, I lost them. I didn't hear the embarrassing words, so I guess I'm okay.
Good. Okay. Thank you very much for calling in, and good luck. Okay, and who's the next caller, Lise?
Well, I'm figuring 3's a charm, and Livia thinks she has things straightened out. We're going to give her one more try. So, Livia, can you unmute? I saw it unmuted a while ago. I know you can do it.
Okay, all right.
There she is.
I'm unmuted now. Okay, I'm unmuted now, right? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So,
okay, good.
Where are you coming from?
Third time is the charm.
So, where are you calling from?
Florida.
Oh, cool. West Palm Beach. You're not all that far from me. I'm in Punta Gorda.
Yeah, I know.
Other coast. Okay, and what is it that you're most grateful for right now?
Well, I got my freedom back. I spoken to you about 3 months ago, and you told me I'm gonna be leaving this boyfriend of mine who's mentally abusive. So I get the guts, and I moved out of his house on the 31st. So now I'm kind of uncertain about my living situation. Right now I'm living with a friend, temporary, and I just don't know what to do, where to go, where I'm gonna be going, what's gonna be.
Now, what's your sun sign?
I'm a Pisces.
Okay, so you heard what I was saying about Pisces. Let's look into this a little bit more deeply. First
Mm-hmm.
off, this is your time for healing. You heard me say that. It's very important. And it's for healing
Yeah.
you as well as healing other people. And it's also your time for creativity. Now, relating that to what you were just talking about, your solution to where you're going to be living is going to end up being a very creative solution. You will need to, I think of it as thinking out of the box. It's not going to be a simple solution. The
Mm-hmm.
place that you're in right now is not, it's not the solution. Okay, and of course you're aware of that. And the
Mm-hmm.
problem there is that the person you're living with has their own problems. So you've got out of your issues, but you also, it's not going to be too long before you start getting wound up in their issues. Okay, and so if you truly want your freedom, you've got to move on from that position as well. You know, financially, I see issues where you are at, but I see, because of the way this chart falls out, I see that a distance from you, not in the area you're living now, there is financial support, there is technical support, there is family support. So I don't know if this means going back to your roots or if this means going and staying with a friend in another state or another part of Florida, but I know that distance is involved. Okay, this is not right around the corner. Distance is involved, and it's a really good solution. It's a good solution.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to get to that solution, you're going to have to utilize some creative ability and certainly some creative speaking. And there's something else relative to the person who would be there to give help, to kind of get you back on your feet again independently. Apparently, there has been some hard feelings, and you will have to breach that gap with communication. And you're going to have to do it, here we go again, creatively and also totally honestly, because apparently there were issues of dishonesty in the past regarding something having to do with your relationship with that person or that group of people who could be helpful. Now, my guides are saying this isn't just a single person. It might actually have to do with work, a job, something that you could be doing with travel that is going to help you to open doors that'll be very lucrative and very comfortable for you. But you've got to step back and into an old situation that might be a little uncomfortable and work through that in order to be able to make that work. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That should be enough guides in what I just said. That should give you enough guide posts to be able to follow that trail and make that happen.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Good
Have a
luck
good
to you.
day.
Yeah, everything's good, and good luck to you. I know you're in a better place right now, and you are still healing, and you're going to set the world on fire, my friend, because you've got all kinds of potential, now that you don't have big blocks around you. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck to you. Lisa,
Okay. Bye-bye.
who's next?
Alrighty, our next person, if I can find her down here, is going to be Kathleen K. If I can get her unmuted. Seems like they're muted on two ways tonight. Kathleen, can you unmute yourself? There we
Hey,
go.
I'm here. Hello.
Hello there. How are you tonight, Kathleen?
Okay, it's Catherine.
Catherine, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you can call me Kathy. That's fine. All
Okay,
right.
Kathy.
Thank you for taking me. I'm in Maryland. I'm a Virgo, and I am most grateful for the opportunity to be able to stay home and take care of my dad while he's in hospice.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. Now, you heard what I was saying to all of our Pisces, right? Well,
I'm a Virgo.
right, I know you are.
Okay.
If you look, because you just told me, but if you look at this chart, I've been talking to these Pisces who are your opposing sign. Here's Pisces. See my cursor? Here's you, okay? And it looks like you're the empty space in the chart, but you are not. You're the place where all that energy is flowing into. That's the open spot. So this healing ability, this is why it's so appropriate that you said you're grateful for taking care of your dad, because there's Neptune and Chiron, the healing planet, and there it is pouring to you across this chart to you. I see a T-square here that is giving you energy. It's a good thing, which is what you were saying with Dad, relative to healing. But there's also there is a burden here. You're not seeing it as a burden because you're feeling the gratitude that you're able to do this. But there is a burden. And you're recognizing that, but you're also recognizing it being choice. There's also something showing here having to do with siblings. And that may be that there's a visit from a sibling that's coming, or that you have a sibling who's helping you out with your father. But there's something having to do with siblings that's coming into this mix within the next month. And I'm hoping that there's going to be some support given to you. That would be just wonderful. Okay? Now, what is your specific question?
I want to know when and if I will ever meet anybody again.
Well, you're going to hate what I'm saying here.
Oh, no, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Now, the card that I turned up is this, okay? It's an inverted King of Pentacles. This is what he looks like right side up. It's easier to see him that way, okay? That's what he looks like right side up. And I suspect that's your ex. And I turned him up this way, okay? And that really says about everything you need to know about him, right? But what that tells me is that you are still hurting. You know, taking care of Dad is really a good way for you to help heal Dad, but also for you to heal from that hurt from that old relationship. The thing is that what's holding you back from moving into a new relationship isn't just being the caretaker of your dad. It's the fact that you haven't let go of the stuff around that past relationship, okay? There's still too much hurt associated with it. There's still too much connection because of that hurt. So right here, all this healing energy is needed by you, and you need to find somebody to talk to about all that. This is a personal question, but can I ask you, have you found somebody, or do you have a friend that you can really talk to and get all that garbage from the past off of your chest? You know, somebody who's just a good listener.
I'm giggling because I've been successfully single for over 22 years. You would have thought I'd been over it by now.
You're not. You're not. But what it is,
I have friends. I do have friends that I talk to about it, but I just don't seem to meet or care to meet somebody. I do, but I don't.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's the problem. Apparently, you've got a little bit of stubbornness in your nature, and you have a woman in spirit who's your guide. I think is your grandmother, and she's saying, "Oh yeah, she's stubborn." Okay. The thing is that you have kind of held on to, I won't do this, and I won't do that, and I won't accept that, and I won't accept that, and I'm not going to tolerate that. And what's happened is that you're so focused on all those negatives that guess what you attract are the people with the negatives, okay? Because that's what you're putting out there. And then you say, well, I'm not even going to bother because that's all that's out there. But it's not. So what you've got to do is to let go. And you know how I come on and I say, please talk about what you're most grateful for in your life right now. That's because gratitude is so very, very healing. And it sets the stage for all the good things in life. The more we feel gratitude, the more good things come to us. Okay? So even if you're just grateful that that guy from 22 years ago is no longer in your life, start being grateful for that. Okay?
Okay.
And start being grateful for the fact that the mailman, who's a sweet guy, delivers the mail on time. Pick out the men in your life that are around you and find nice things to be grateful about with them. And you'll gradually turn around that pattern that you have that says, this just isn't in the cards for me because they all turn out to be schmucks. Okay?
Okay.
That's what needs to change. Now, if you change that within yourself, if you are successful in changing that, which my guides are saying you can because you're sharp, will you attract the right guy that you can be with? And what I get is that. And guess what? That is right side up, and that's a yes. It's justice. And it tells me that you will meet somebody who may be in the law field, the legal field, but is also probably a divorcee. And that may have been something that you've been leery with and avoiding, and you may find that that's your perfect mate. So the answer is yes, but you've got to do some work on yourself first. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful evening.
And you too.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you.
Thank you.
And Lisa, who is next?
All right, I'm going to try this again. And my apologies to Catherine for calling her Kathleen. I'm trying to click on Kathleen, and my computer jumped, so it went up to Catherine. So I'm going to try Kathleen again. Kathleen, are you there?
Kathleen, you may have to unmute yourself on your side. Okay, I think you're on. I think I hear you. Talk to me. Hello?
She's not unmuted.
No, she's not. You haven't unmuted yourself yet. For a minute you had it, and then you remuted it.
And it's not letting me do it.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, I'm going to go choose someone
I have
else.
to play with that a little bit. Okay.
All right. The next victim is going to be Connie. Connie, I hope you're unmuted.
Hello, Connie.
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Hi, can you hear me?
I certainly can. Hello.
And I see you have your Path 16 shirt on.
I do.
I live outside of, so I'm a Virgo, so I do appreciate what you just talked about. I live in Louisiana, and I'm most grateful for our 3 daughters. What struck me when you were talking about Virgo is that I've been taking care of my husband, whose health has been failing. And I've been hitting on the burden, the feeling of it as quite a burden recently.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's been a struggle to deal with as a Virgo.
Yeah. I mean, the reason for that is, I'm just going to give you some astrology lingo here for a minute. Here's Saturn over here in Sagittarius, which is a hard angle. It's a 90-degree aspect to your sun. So you're feeling that weighing down. Saturn is restriction. But being in the first house in this chart, it's like right now it feels like it's restricting everything about you. It's restricting your breathing. It's restricting your freedom. It's restricting your sleep. You're just feeling that burden. That's why I said it's just a burden. Now, what I talked to Catherine about, or Kathy about, is that this is also an opposition to the sun over here in Gemini. Would you mind muting your mic while I'm speaking? Because we're getting tremendous feedback right now. Thank you so much, Connie. You know, we happen to have too many guys on the other side trying to come through at once. And so we're getting all of that feedback. But we have a little bit better control here because I'm in my own office tonight. Okay, so here's that opposition by sign. Okay, you know, the 7th house has Gemini on it. And there's that Saturn. And you have this I need to let him go thing going on at the same time that I need to hold on to him thing. Okay. And you have, I think, come to the conclusion that you are most concerned with the fact that whatever in him needs to be healed in a spiritual sense will be healed so that he can release and move on. But you are still having this really hard time letting go. And, you know, I think Kathy will relate to that, too, with her father. Part of this is a burden, and it is so constricting. And part of it is I'm just having so much trouble letting go, but I want to give you your freedom. You see that's this conflict that's going on. And meanwhile, up here in the 7th house, now this would be her father. This is your husband. This is the house of the husband, Mars in Cancer. I don't know if you are aware, but your husband is holding on for dear life because he feels it's his responsibility to not let you down. Okay? Do you see what you've got going on here, Connie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I've been trying to, it feels like I've been doing some clearing and some trying to disassociate some of the ties with him. And it's a struggle, especially for our kids.
Absolutely.
Two of them are 13 and one of them is 12. And that's my biggest concern right now is them.
Connie, can I ask, I mean, this is getting very personal. So if this gets too personal and, we're on air and this is going to be put out, if this gets too personal, please shut me up. Okay. Because I don't know how far you want to go with this. But my question to you was, is your husband home? Are you keeping him home? Is he in hospice? Is he in a rehab situation?
Right now, he's still home. He was hospitalized twice last month, but I've had discussions. We're rapidly approaching where he's going to have to go into a rehab hospital.
Okay.
Because I can't take care of him anymore, physically.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm seeing is coming as I just didn't know how close you were to that, and that's why this is a really delicate thing. And that, here we have this energy going on, which is, let me tell you something, Connie, you and Kathy before you gals have this amazing strength. I don't know if you realize that you have done for your husband, she's done for her father, far more than most other human beings would be capable of doing. You just are this amazingly powerful, strong woman. It's almost like you've been breathing for him, okay? You've been giving him your life. And here's the thing, is that you now know that you have to let go. He knows how much you've put into it, and it's not just that he can't let go, it's that he doesn't want to let you and the kids down. So, sometimes the hardest part of all, Connie, is, and you may not be able to do this yourself, you may have to get a professional in to do it, but to have those conversations with your husband that teach him about the other side, that teach him that life doesn't end, that teach him and your kids that they're not going to lose their father, they're going to gain an ally on the other side that they can talk to every single day, that they can always forever feel close to. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's time to start switching the focus from hold on to life to allow, okay? It doesn't mean I want to die tomorrow, but allow. And we all pass, we all die, and it's a normal thing, but in our society, we don't seem to know how to do anything except hold on. We don't know how to make that passage. So you and Kathy before you, this is a big part of what you're going to be doing, and you being the powerhouse in the family, here it's all resting on you. It's all about your conversation, how you handle this. And you're right to be concerned about your boys, about your kids, and perhaps getting them some help with the school psychologists or your minister or priest that you, or rabbi, I don't know what religion you are, but get some support for them as they go through this so that they can understand that this is a normal, natural thing and it's not going to end. Their love for dad doesn't have to end. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, and that's exactly what I've been trying to do. But thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep. Now,
and it makes a lot of sense because I felt very constricted, and I've even had some issues with the diaphragm with emotional clearing that I've been doing. And so it ties all in.
Yeah. And now the big thing here is, again, your husband, thank God he still has his sanity. He has his wits about him. He needs to be a part of this whole healing process. But wouldn't it be a beautiful thing for the whole family to be able to heal before he passes? Think about it. And it's doable.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Right. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
I appreciate it.
I want to thank you for letting me talk about that, letting my guys talk about that on the air, because what we just talked about is something that everyone on our planet goes through. Not just you, not just me. We all go through it. And we're so afraid in our world of talking about that transition. That's supposed to be a natural, beautiful, wonderful thing, but we're so afraid of talking about it that we just don't really know how to deal with it. So this gave me an opportunity to let my guides come through and put some of this stuff into words. So thank you for letting me share that. Okay, that took a lot of courage on your part. I appreciate it. They appreciate it. And Lisa, who is the next client?
I like victim myself. Hey, let me see if I can find who I'm looking for. All right, the next person I'm going to try and unmute is Juliana. You're unmuted. You really are unmuted.
Hello, Juliana. There you go. Just talk.
Hello.
Yes, we're here.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Wow, surprise. I am a Cancer. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm most grateful for my children, healthy children and family together.
Thank you very much. And all of the Cancers on the call, including you, the focus here is mostly on all of your one-on-one relationships, which would be your relationships with your significant other, your kids, your friends, but one-on-one, okay, on an individual basis. And this is a very, very active time for you, because here's Mars right in Cancer. So you've got to be, you're a little short-tempered right now, okay? So try to put all of that, super strong energy you've got, try to put it into something creative and constructive, and maybe make this next couple of weeks a time of doing stuff with friends, with your significant other, being active, okay? That'd be a really good thing. And I see a lot of frustration around you with you having to split yourself. So, it's like you need to clone yourself. You need to wear too many different hats right now, and it's getting to be too much for you. Now, what's your specific question?
Yes, that is a trait of mine in my life, and it's a big time of change and transition, having 2 adult children, transitioning and, me separating more from what they're doing and kind of coming into my own of what I'm doing, along the lines of my own psychic development and other studies that I have. So I have a big choice in my work that I've been doing and trying to decide what thing to put at the forefront and where to place my energies to follow things through to the next level.
Right now you're feeling this super pressure that you have to do all this right now. You're wrong, you don't. Okay? I want you to know that first of all. The reason you're feeling the pressure is that as the kids move on, you're feeling this gap that needs to be filled. And so you want to charge into the next thing in life so you can fill that gap. My guides are saying that right now, one of your big frustrations is every time you try to charge into something, you get blocked. Either you get distracted into something else that you think you might also want to do, or something comes up that you have to do first, or the thing is that no matter what direction you seem to step off, you get pulled off in a different direction, and what you really want to do isn't happening, and then you get mad at yourself. Now, what my guides are saying is this is happening on purpose, because you shouldn't be trying to fill a hole with your next interest. You should be taking this time right now to explore as many different areas as you can to see what really feels right, what fits the best. Putting it in a different sense of words, this is the time for you to be able to go back and be a child too, not just watch your kids step into, a young adulthood, but you have now got the opportunity to step into young adulthood. So what they're saying is give the same blessing to yourself that you've given to your kids. Allow yourself the luxury to explore. It doesn't have to be done all at once. You don't have to, launch this next phase of your life under incredible pressure and, frankly, put yourself in all kinds of stress and tension and anxiety simply because you've got a habit of stress and tension and anxiety. Is this making sense to you?
Yes.
Okay? So
Yes.
take a breath and enjoy this time of growth and learning. Okay? And what's
Mm-hmm.
interesting is what's going to happen in probably by the end of the summer, it's not going to be that far off, is that you are going to be meeting somebody that is going to stimulate your interests in a specific area that's going to really click. But you haven't met that person yet, okay? That particular stimulation hasn't happened yet. So right now, play, enjoy, develop yourself, really get in touch with what you want, with your talents, with your abilities, with how you want to handle things. Watch how other people are handling things in their lives. And when this opportunity comes, you're going to know it. It's not going to take you by surprise, because that's going to be the time to take action. And you will know whether or not you want to do it, how you want to do it, how much you want to do it, because you will have given yourself the time to refine yourself and to explore. Okay, so that's what you're doing right now. You're using this time period. When something gets blocked, don't get frustrated. Back off and say, no, I'm not supposed to do that right now. I'll go over here and do this instead. When that gets blocked, okay, time for me to go check out this other thing. And you're going to be doing that probably for a month and a half or so before things open up for you. And that's fine. You'll enjoy it now. Okay?
Okay. Very helpful. Thank you.
Now, I think what you really want to know is, in the future, are you going to grow up to be a psychic? Okay? And, I can't tell you for sure, because I know you would love in this moment for me to say, oh, yes, you will. But you have some strong opposition there. I think that there's resistance from someone in the family. I don't know who that is, if it's a husband or a mom, but there's resistance from an important person in the family. And there's also, for whatever reason, this sense of, I can't do this in this geographical space. I would have to make a change in order for me to really do what I would want to do. So now, from my perspective, I think you're setting up your own resistance, okay? But anytime you set up that resistance, it's got to be a reason for that. It's got to be a reason from inside yourself. It may be that there are other things you also want to do. For example, you have a healing gift, and it may very well be that you're, what do I want to do? Seesawing between becoming that psychic or moving into something that involves healing. So I can't tell you for sure. What I can tell you is that if you want to, you will be able to. I'm just not sure you're going to want to.
Yeah, how much? It's getting a handle on all that and letting it evolve, right?
Exactly, because there are so many interests here, and you haven't given yourself a chance to really explore them yet.
Right.
It may very well be that you use your psychic ability to promote something else that you haven't even thought of doing yet, and then the two things combined will allow you to be much more successful, because you're tapping into two great and wonderful talents and abilities. So I can't tell you yet, because you're not far enough along in your journey to know what you want.
Right. Yeah, that's all very true. Very good.
Okay. Enjoy this journey. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Lisa, let me have my next caller, please. My next victim.
All righty. The next victim is going to be Lizette. You are unmuted.
Hi.
Hey, Lizette.
Hi, Sandy. Hi, Lisa. How are you guys?
We're good. Now, Lizette, where are you from? You know the game.
So, yep, I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm in Aries, and I'm most grateful for my family.
Okay. And we've had a lot of people from different signs. Everybody's all over the map tonight. As an Aries, you're down here right at the bottom of the chart. Lizette, could you mute while I'm speaking? Because we're getting that feedback, you and I.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Here you are on the bottom of the chart. And what's so interesting about this is you said I'm most grateful to family. This is the house of the family, okay? So there's a lot of focus on family right now. And you may very well also be focused on somebody older, like perhaps an older woman on your husband's side of the family that I don't know if she's coming for a visit or if she's just very powerfully around you right now, but there's this tremendous energy from that person that's here. I also feel like a visit from kids could be happening. So this is going to be a really active time for you. There's something you're in the process of walking away from, Lizette, and I don't know if that's what your question is all about. Apparently, it's something that you're kind of, you jumped into quickly, and then you're rethinking it and saying, I don't know, doesn't seem like this is what's really my thing. This doesn't seem like this is what I want. I thought I wanted it, but I want something more than that. So it feels like you're moving on, and it's just not in your nature to back off and let go of something without a fight. So you're not really feeling comfortable with that walking away thing, and yet you feel like it's the right thing to do. Okay. Now, do you have more questions about that, or do you have a different question that you'd like to ask?
It might be related. So my husband and I have been in the process of trying to purchase a home here in California for about a month. And that whole process is just very tedious and stressful. And it's been just so much that, yes, for several times now, I just kind of want to throw in the towel and just say, forget about it, because it's sort of one thing after another. And granted, I understand that there's also a process, and that's part of my learning, is that I have to come to grips with that and understand that everything is not just perfect and going to happen very quickly. And so my question really was just, if there was any sort of way for your guides or you to tell us, are we on the right path? Is this the right thing? Is this going to work out? What's kind of the deal?
What I can tell you is that there are a lot of legal issues apparently surrounding the property that have to be worked through. But this is the card I picked up for that, which is the card that talks about legal issues, and it's right side up, which says that it's all going to work out. And yes, the money is going to be adequate, because that's the money card, Ace of Pentacles. And you are, lo and behold, going to have this piece of property that you're really going to enjoy and love. But in the process, this interesting thing has happened, because I feel like, perhaps it was your husband's dream and it was his push to move as fast as you guys did. But you are really at this point where it's not so important to you anymore. You would just as soon go on and do something different. So you're ready to walk away. What's interesting is that the whole "I'm ready to walk away," that whole attitude looks like it's the reason why all of a sudden things are going to start moving again, which I think is interesting. It's like, oh no, we don't want to lose our buyer. Let's go. So I think that it's all going to work out for you. And for myself, let me say, buying a house is a big, big thing, especially this is very involved. There's been a lot of time, effort, money already put into it, and it's supposed to be a joy. So I'm dearly wishing for you that you'll be able to get that joy back, and I think you will. Okay?
Beautiful. Thank you so, so much.
You're very welcome. Good luck with this.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too. Lisa, I think I have time for one more person this evening.
All righty. We're going to go down here to Pablo. Pablo, you are unmuted.
Hello?
Hello, Pablo.
Hey, how's it going? So I'm a Virgo. See a lot of Virgos tonight. That's good. I am most grateful about my career at this moment. So I don't know if I can go directly to my question. I don't know, since you've already talked a little bit about Virgos in general.
Go for it. That sounds good to me. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just I'm wondering about my I guess love of life. I've been sort of struggling with this breakup for the last few months, and I guess her birthday is coming up, and I'm just wondering if I should try to reach out or potentially just let it go and try to move on and focus on something else.
Okay. Can I be really, really blunt?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to show you the card. I knew about your love life, by the way, before you asked it, because this card came up. It's an inverted Queen of Cups. And one of the reasons why you've had so much difficulty letting go after this breakup is because this person is so very, very emotional, so intense. She's a stormy human being. And, you know, she, unfortunately, she actually relates best when a relationship is filled with this taffy, this emotional stuff that goes back and forth. And it's almost like the more intense it gets, the more she will hold on through all the different emotions. So you're feeling all that from her, which is the reason why, you know, relationships aren't just physical, emotional, intellectual, they're also psychic. There's an energy literally that goes back and forth between people, whether you're physically present with one another or not, until you choose to cut it and ignore those emotional tendrils that come at you. Well, she is sending you all those emotional tendrils of you are just a really nasty guy and you are feeling them. And so you're feeling like, well, should I open that door back up and do something for her birthday? Because I know that when I walked away, it was really the right thing to do. Okay? And you walked away because you couldn't handle her ups and downs and her erratic personality and her attacks. I'm sorry, but that's why you walked away. That's why you let things go. And now you're feeling that pressure because the pressure is actually coming from her. And you're responding to it just like you did when you were in the relationship. So my guides say this is the card of divorce. Okay, oops, there it is. You can see it better now. And if you contact her, she will definitely say, oh yes, let's get this thing going again. But it will be even stormier before, and this time she'll do the walking away and close the door. You know, because that apparently is how she relates, and she would be in a I want to get even mode now. So, do you feel like this is in your best interest now that I've given you that lowdown?
Potentially, I don't think so. You know, I think you pretty much answered it pretty straightforward. Okay. So
now, what I do want to add on to that, though, is that you are just now on the verge. If you can get yourself healed from this relationship, a relationship that's stormy like that is a hard one to get over because there was so much emotion involved. But if you can get yourself into a place where you can deep breathe and really let go and say, you know, I know that there's somebody really good there out there for me. You know, I know that there's somebody like right around the next corner. There's somebody very close who is someone who will honor you, who will respect you, who will look up to you, who will communicate with you without those emotional crazies, okay? And I feel like there have been a couple of times when you almost came close to getting together with that person, but it didn't happen because you're not ready, because you haven't really taken that deep breath and let go of that past relationship yet, okay? But believe me, the right person, the person who would be a really good match for you, is right around the corner, okay?
Yep.
Really.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck to you. And folks, we're a wee little bit after the hour, so our time is up, but I want to give you those announcements again. Please put my next psychic hour on your calendar. It's July 9th, 9 o'clock. And if you're interested in developing your own psychic abilities, that can start really fast because my Anastasi system of psychic development starts July 5th. And that'll go all through the summer and into the fall. It finishes in October, or actually, no, November. And if you want to get a reading with me, you can do that either by contacting Lisa. Her phone is on the website, or her email is on the website as well, or you can just actually fill out the form and just go ahead and get it, and she'll contact you to set the time up. So I am always happy to see all of you here. I hope you enjoyed the hour. I hope your questions all got answered, and I just want you to know that I'm wishing you lots of love and happy during this summer, because we are just about to go into summer. The 21st or 22nd is the summer solstice, my favorite time of year. Good night, everybody. I love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful month. I'll see you back here next month.